Police released this dashcam video that shows one of their cruisers being struck by a stolen transport truck.
The spending is out of control. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today we've got some different reports here coming together, pulling together a bunch of stuff here, some data, and we're seeing that the foreign affairs spending from the Liberals is not only outrageous, we don't know what a bunch of it is. You're going to be shocked by the numbers here. And not only that, the connections, the ties, there's a bunch of suspicious connections here in other countries. Got some other updates here. Let's jump into this. Starting this one off, we got this from Polling Canada, which is from an NDP pollster saying Canadians have lost a shared sense of who we are, and 59% said agree, 19% said disagree, and 17% neutral. Canadians' opinion of what's going on in our country is changing a lot, especially since Mark Carney not getting a deal. We've got this one from Globe Politics. Federal government won't say whether it will criminalize residential school denials. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. We also got this one here, an interesting update from the US Sun. Katy Perry misses partner Justin Trudeau's birthday celebrations to spend Christmas with her ex Orlando Bloom. The only reason I bring this up because it's humiliating for Justin Trudeau. Any humiliation to Captain Schmuck will always be welcome on the channel. Yeah. Moving ahead, we've got Marty up north posting this one. Ever wonder how much of a problem fraud might be in Ottawa? Yeah, this is what I do on my channel. This is a very interesting graph he broke down here. So Marty's good with the numbers. It says last year, Ottawa supervised $538 billion in spending. Even a good company like Tesla would have a difficult time properly controlling all that cash flow, never mind a bunch of unaccountable bureaucrats. To put that into context, just 0.5% of that is $2.69 billion. The amount in the red circle is $102 billion, labeled as other transfer payments. We have no idea where most of it ends up. So you can see here, he's taken all the inflows, we'll make this big, all the inflows of money, personal income tax, corporate tax, non-resident income tax, goods and services tax, GST, and other duties and taxes. And this flows into the government. And then where does this money go out? That's where these yellow sections are. Budgetary revenues, budgetary expenses, deficit, and then this flows out. Direct program expenses, transfers to persons, public debt charges, transfers to other governments, and then this gets broken down further here. Health, equalization, social transfers, elderly benefits, Canada Child Benefit, EI, operating expenses, and this is what he's talking about. Other transfer payments, $102 billion. And below here, you can see pollution pricing proceeds returned to Canadians, $15 billion. This $102 billion, this is a lot of the stuff I bring up on the channel here. A lot of the far off rip-off stuff goes into that. I'm assuming foreign aid is in this other transfer payments. A lot of the far off rip-off stuff I bring on the channel. And that's just it. They're not even keeping good track of the money. That's such an easy way to launder money and stuff it in their own pockets. Now, they're not going to do it in Canada, so they'll do it in another country where it can't be audited, can't be checked. Once I found these connections here between Mark Carney's Glasgow Alliance for Net Zero, you can see here, develop innovative transition finance solutions through leadership on the MDB reform and support for the World Bank Private Sector Investment Lab. And then you start making these connections here between Mark Carney's GFANs to the World Bank. You've got Ajay Banga here running this. And then that's how I stumbled upon this, started looking through all the numbers here, and $3.488 billion going to the World Bank. This is just the World Bank, and this is from the last 10 years. Marty pointing out there, this is from the last year. There's $102 billion that we don't know where this money's going. So what I'm showing there is just a sliver of that. This is 3.4, almost 3.5 billion over 10 years just to the World Bank. But I mean, there's so much corrupt spending, wasteful spending. I mean, Mark Carney just the other day mentioned the World Bank in his little speech. We know money's getting shipped over to places like Jamaica. Carney claims Jamaica is one of the most important relationships Canada has, which is not true at all. Not even close. So this is something we need to really pay attention to. I mean, like $20 million to the Canada Caribbean Resilience Facility. We don't get value for money for any of this garbage. Very little probably we ever get to find out about. I mean, look at this example here from probably the best in Canada at digging up dirt. That's Andy Lee. Posting this, we sent money to a nonprofit in 2022 for digital flip books and cinema forums in the park to promote transgender and migrant rights in Arakawa. Where is Arakawa? I don't even know. My geography's pretty good. Never heard of the place. There it is. I still don't know where this is. Colombia. Never heard of it. This is so preposterous. It's basically a little state that's part of Colombia. How populated is this? Is there even a city in this? Looking through this here, I can't even find a town. Is there even a town in here? Okay, so there's one town here right in the middle, this place here. So this is probably where the money's going. Of course, it's probably going to some bank account, never be audited, and the money's just gone. So this is where our money's going here in this case that Andy Lee found. Problem is, they haven't posted on their social media since 2021. Did they make the books? Hard to say. Their website doesn't work. As I said, I've called these places, I've emailed these places, you never get a response. This seems like money laundering, 100% money laundering. As she's posting here, the receipts $36,000 for digital flip books and cinema forums in the park, promoting respect for diversity, human rights towards transgender, migrant refugees, strengthening empathy against discrimination through artistic storytelling in Araucua, Colombia, and El Amparo, Venezuela. As she shows, the website does not work. It does not work. And they haven't posted since 2021. And just to prove here that we're on the website that she just mentioned there from that, the website doesn't work. So where's our money going? It's going to someone's bank account. It's not going to help Canadians. So somebody posting this as a reply here. So this is the other place it's going to in Venezuela. And then this pops up. Araucua, Colombia and Venezuela border, Amparo, street candy trade. The Araucua region located on the border between Venezuela and Colombia have been a focal point for street candy trafficking activities. The Colombian parliamentary group Los Rajos have been a significant player in this region, using the border to facilitate the smuggling of street candy into the United States and Europe. The Venezuelan army have been actively involved in combating these activities, leading to military operations that have resulted in the perishing of both Colombian and Venezuelan soldiers. The street candy trade in this area is a complex interplay of illegal activities, including the use of the border for street candy trafficking, smuggling, and undocumented passage of cross-border travelers. The ongoing conflict in the region highlights the challenges of maintaining security. This is too much of a coincidence here. It's way too much. This is where they're sending money, and then we've got this stuff happening there. I mean, it's not definitive proof, but yeah, I don't know. Something stinks here. I think this guy thinks it stinks too. And while we're talking about wasteful spending, we got Melissa posting this, a quick search that shows Canada spent millions of dollars in other countries' healthcare systems in 2025. Meanwhile, we have people literally perishing in ER waiting rooms and millions of Canadians without a family doctor. And that's what we're seeing here. A quick search, you can see $2 million to Syria, $2 million Gaza, East Africa, 75 million to support health sector in South Sudan. Really? We don't have enough MRI machines and we're sending 75 million to South Sudan. Okay. And look who this is going through. The World Bank. Of course it's going through the World Bank. 18 million to Bangladesh, Nepal, and Vietnam. 30 million. Comprehensive healthcare options. 30 million. 7 million. 20 million. Going to Pakistan. Wasteful spending that doesn't help Canadians. Our money should not be leaving Canada, period, until our deficit is gone. Why would we spend $1 anywhere else instead of paying off our deficit? This makes no sense unless you're a crooked, corrupt prime minister trying to rip off taxpayers. We are not dumb. Who needs healthcare when we have MAID? And that's just it. MAID, I believe, is the 4th or 5th highest cause of Canadians perishing now. The Liberals quite literally ending Canadians who just need a little bit of help. They don't need MAID, they just need some help. Canada needs Doge to investigate where the money went. Yes, we do. With all that said, we got this video going around. I believe this is from last year. This is in reaction to this post here. Goldstein. Mark Carney says Justin Trudeau blew $200 billion on a failed climate strategy. As Tanglefoot posts here, perhaps nothing is getting done because the federally funded Canadian Climate Institute is run out of the 12 by 14 foot office downtown Toronto with 0 employees working at 2:30 p.m. I verified this address personally. Once again, this is not from Christmas. This was filmed sometime last year, not during a holiday.
How much would these spaces be? If I was guessing, I'd say this $1,600 per month. That sounds about right. More size dependent. Yeah, of course.
There's nobody there. Where is everyone? Our tax dollars hard at work. Yep. Canadian Climate Institute. They're doing a lot of hard work. This account here, the Reclamaire, is doing an excellent job. They're digging into a lot of Indigenous affairs, and they've now rounded up all the government spending and put it into an easy-to-search website, which is right here. The Canadian government spending. This is from 2015 to 2025, and then you can just search it right here. You can type Canadian Climate Institute, and there it is. It doesn't give you any more details than that, but you can see $6.9 million in the past 10 years. Using this website here, Canada Spends, we can also look this up. It brings up other things that tag these words. We do have Canadian Climate Institute there. Management consulting, $40,000. These ones are Canadian Institute for Climate Choices. A lot of money here, 6.5 million, 5.5, 4.7 million, 4.6 million. Just imagine if they spent all this money on the homeless and food banks, we'd be in a much better position here. We wouldn't have so many people sleeping in tents. So the problem with this website, it wraps in everything that has those words. Next up, we got some more wasteful spending here. The Leah True Crimes bringing this one, saying, is art in Thunder Bay so popular that a $75 million art gallery is needed? That's a great question, is it? She's linking up a CBC article here, believe it or not. It says, despite ballooning costs, Thunder Bay Art Gallery Executive Director confident new gallery will be completed. Yeah, okay, so yeah, $75 million. What's the population of Thunder Bay? It's 117,000 people that live in Thunder Bay, and they have a $75 million art gallery. Yeah, that's quite something. You really can't make that up. Oh, nice facility. So good. Just going to bring in all that economic value. What a waste of money. Who approved this? There's always concern. There should be. This project should not be finished as an art gallery. They should take this and convert it into something else that would be useful. It's up to the art gallery to move forward with the project, she said. We're trying to help as best as we can, mitigate anything in the future. What a waste. $5 million for the gallery, $70 for all the vultures that regulate, study, consult, and advise the government about art galleries. I think that sums it up. Art money isn't going to launder itself. No, it's not. That's what art has become, the easiest way to launder money. Moving ahead, we've got this one from CTV. It says Peel police arrested 42-year-old Nirmiral Singh of Brampton under Canada-wide driving ban after he stole a semi-truck, attached a stolen trailer, rammed a cruiser during a failed stop, and then fled on foot. What a nice guy. Another one of these fun characters the Liberals have brought over from South Asia.
And Peel police have arrested and charged a Brampton man in connection with a stolen vehicle. Police released this dashcam video that shows one of their cruisers being struck by a stolen transport truck. It happened on December 22nd when officers attempted to apprehend the driver at Williams Parkway and Humber West Parkway. The truck had been stolen the day before from a repair shop near East Drive and Torbram Road. 42-year-old Nirmal Singh has been arrested in connection with the incident and is facing numerous theft and driving-related offenses. Singh is a Canada-wide suspended driver.
What a friendly-looking character. So what needs to happen here is they need to assess the damage. Clearly, they shattered the windshield here. You can see it gets cracked right there. Obviously, this vehicle is damaged. The truck has probably got some damage on it too, maybe. Probably some of it is dented here. Add that up, what is it, $10,000, $15,000 of damage, and then put that on his tab. Put him in a jail. He needs to work this off. He also needs to work for his food. So if he works really hard, say works 12 hours a day and he's generating a few $100s a day in value in the jail, deduct the cost of food, which is going to be expensive, and say if he's only left with $50, well then take that $50 off his $15,000 tab. And once the tab's done, then he's technically eligible to be released only after his sentence is completed. And the sentence should be determined if it's a year or 2 years, 5 years in jail. If it takes him 6 years to pay off this debt, then he can't leave until the debt's paid off. If he pays it off in 4 years, he still has to wait 1 year, say if it's a 5-year sentence, before he can get out. I think that's how we should run the system here. These guys have to pay for their sins against us. It doesn't matter if they're a citizen, if they show up here, cause crime, say if it's a home invasion, 20 years in jail, you throw them in there, you charge them $1 million, you have to work your way out, you don't work, you don't eat. That's how we should run the system. Canadians should be paying for this. We should be getting these people working for us. It is a privilege to come to Canada. If they're going to take advantage of it, then they should be thrown in jail and have to work it off. No more Xbox, gym time, all that stuff should be earned after years of being in a jail with excellent behavior to be able to have access to that stuff. With that stuff, I mean maybe a gym, not an Xbox. There should be no TV. Give them a couple of books, let them work out for half an hour a day. The rest has got to be working. Moving ahead, we've got U.S. launches airstrikes in northwest Nigeria targeting ISIS. Trump making good on his promise to take out the terror lords. A little backstory here, if you're not familiar. ISIS terror lords have been removing a bunch of Christians from existence. Absolutely insane. Obviously, they're not talking about this much on mainstream media. This is a rarity, though, because Trump is launching strikes here. They basically can't not talk about it anymore.
We begin with breaking news overnight. President Donald Trump has ramped up U.S. airstrikes on ISIS, making good on a weeks-old promise to hit targets in Nigeria just days after similar attacks in Syria. The U.S. Department of War released this video said to show missiles being launched from a Navy ship in an unspecified location. Trump calls the strike deadly, but doesn't specify how many people may have been killed. Journalist Jagrute Dave is following this story for us today. She joins us from Washington. Good morning, Jagrute. Donald Trump was quick to go online today and justify these strikes on Nigeria. Wondering what more do we know about it and what is Donald Trump saying?
Well, Tricia, we've got some bits and pieces coming out from different U.S. departments. You have that video, as you mentioned, from the Department of War showing a missile appearing to be launched from a Navy vehicle. It was posted by the Department of War. It was labeled unclassified, but we don't know exactly where this missile was launched from. We've also got Donald Trump, who has been in recent weeks and months really amplifying this narrative about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. And he took to social media to explain the justification behind these strikes. And he said that ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries.
This is why people like Donald Trump, because this is just straight to the point. These guys are scum. They're absolute scum. They should be called scum on the world stage. This doesn't need to be very polite or nice language. Call them exactly what these boneheads are. They need to be completely wiped off the map. I'm full support of what Trump's doing here. These guys are taking out endless Christians in Nigeria, and they're getting a little retribution here.
He said, I've previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. It's not clear how many people were killed in these strikes. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was also commenting on social media. He said that he's grateful for the Nigerian government's support and cooperation, suggesting that there was coordination there. The Nigerian Foreign Ministry said that there was intelligence sharing that went on, amongst other things, behind this strike. But this narrative that it's primarily Christians that are being persecuted. You know, Nigeria has been grappling with insurgency for many, many years now.
Yeah, so to the point she just said there, do you hear that? The Nigerian government passed along information to the American government. They sent over one of their ships and decided to share some of their toys with these guys in the middle of the night. Imagine them being in some compound and one of these giant bombs come busting through the window, kaboom, the whole place gets blown to smithereens. That's basically what happened here. Hopefully they took out as many of these monsters as possible. I don't know how many pow-pows they launched, but regardless, the Nigerian government is helping America to try to take these guys out.
But experts and Nigerian officials are saying that these attacks that are committed by insurgents are affecting both Christians and Muslims in Nigeria, not just the Christian population.
And now we know this strike comes just days after the U.S. targeted ISIS in Syria and just hours after Turkey announced it had rounded up dozens of ISIS suspects. What can you tell us about sort of those aspects of this story?
Yeah, so this attack on ISIS in Syria was following a killing of 3 American personnel in Syria. And this is an operation known as the Operation Hawkeye strikes. And this is, according to US CENTCOM, it struck more than 70 targets at multiple locations across central Syria with fighter jets, attack helicopters and artillery. There was assistance from the Jordanians. Donald Trump on social media said the Syrian government fully supported the strikes and that this was very serious retaliation from the United States. And there is a sense that there's a regional push to try to contain ISIS and to prevent a resurgence of the group in the area, because only yesterday, Turkey also affected the arrests of more than 100 people who were allegedly going to be attacking sites on Christmas and New Year. So this is clearly an issue across the region, but here we have the US really ramping things up with direct strikes in Nigeria.
I wonder if part of this is Donald Trump is showing he's willing to use America's toys. I don't know if this is sending a message to Putin or what it is, but maybe he's just making good on his promise to taking out some of these terror lords and cleaning up a bit of the mess here on planet Earth. It does seem he wants to flex his muscle a bit and just send a bit of a message that he's not going to be the president of peace the entire time if there's issues that need resolving.